you got a question or a story to tell, from the smallest town to the big city belle, got a business dream you're hoping to start, or a question on elections and how to do your part. Now Bryan's here and he's ready to listen to the good people of Arkansas. The mission, he served the nation, now he's serving you for a stronger future and a vision that's new. Welcome to the Ready Room. Got a question? Let's talk it through. Welcome to the Ready Room, where your voice is heard and the people rule.
In every mission, there's a moment before the action begins. A place where warriors gather, gear up, and steel themselves for what's ahead. I'm Bryan Norris. Welcome to the Ready Room. And welcome back, team. Had a little bit of technical difficulties right there in the beginning, as always, right? Murphy's rule, what can go wrong will go wrong. And then add to that my wonderful children decided to go ahead and start a bonfire right outside my detached garage with burning leaves. And they were like, "Dad, aren't you proud of us? We're getting rid of the leaves for you." I had no idea, and it was literally like an inferno. Jared came up. I'm sure you saw. What'd you think when he came up?
Yeah, it looked like you were having a bit of a bonfire.
Yeah. Kids, right? They'll do what they do. It's good stuff. I'd rather them doing that than a lot of other things that they could find themselves in the mix of. So welcome back, guys. It's been a busy week. Officially today at noon, the 2026 election cycle filing closed. The gavel was slammed in the Capitol in Little Rock, and we are done with filing season. Last week, I talked about my trip down there and what it did, but we're going to dive into that a little bit more this week. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is all of the filing fees, not just mine, but all of them for the state of Arkansas, and why that is and why they do that, which is a good question. So if you didn't know, Arkansas has the largest filing fees in the nation. As you can see right here, it's a 167% spike for gubernatorial candidates. The typical for a gubernatorial candidate in the nation is anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000. In Arkansas, it's $40,000. When you look at the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House, in Arkansas, you have $40,000 for the Senate, and you have $30,000 for the House. I believe the last House member to file today, he filed $30,000, and he is on the ticket. So French Hill is going to have a primary opponent. So be sure to make sure that you check them out. Cody McDowell, I believe is his name. I don't want to get that wrong. It's not Cody. It's what's his name? You know, you got it. I can't think of it for some reason on the top of my head right now. Been looking at it several times today. Read his freaking post, shared it out. He's going to give me so much crap over this when he sees me again. Chase McDowell. I was thinking Cody McDowell. Chase McDowell. I'm sorry, Chase. I owe you a huge apology. I mean, it's not like I didn't stand outside with you for 3 hours in the cold the other night, sitting there chatting with you. My bad, dude. I owe you dinner sometime. Anyway, he filed today, so French Hill's got an opponent, but he wrote that $30,000 check. That's a lot of money, guys. For example, states like Delaware are only $10,000 for Senate, and other states are anywhere between $300 to $3,000 to file to run for Senate or House. So why is it that Arkansas sets their filing fee so high? And I'm watching on the chat. If you got some reasons for that, post it there, feed that amongst ourselves. And we got Levita Jones saying, shame on the governor we voted for, not denouncing the excessive filing fees for conservative Republicans. Yeah, guys, it's not on the government. It's not on the state government. They don't set the filing fees. We talked about that a little bit last week. It's the Republican Party of Arkansas that sets the filing fees. And again, we pay for the Republican primaries. So my viewpoint, and I would love an attorney to chime in on this with me, why is the public subsidizing a private entity that is thereby capitalizing from the public expenditure of money? They pay nothing for the primary, but yet they're recouping massive amounts of money. And we're going to, now that filing season is closed, we're going to go through and we're going to find out exactly how much money the RPA took in over this filing session and how much money they get to keep, because we're paying for the entire process for that to happen. So I don't think it's right. I don't think it's necessary. And even our state legislatures, guys, if you want to run for state senate, that's what is it, 7,500 or 7,000? Yeah, 70. Well, other state offices are there, but for state representative, it's 3,000, and state senate is 7,500 bones. 7,500 bones to run for state senate. That's well above the national average, which is 1,782 for Senate and 520 to 540 for representatives, state Senate state representatives across the nation. A lot of states do a sliding scale based on the salary for the office that you're wanting to hold. They usually set it around 3%. Some states have it 10%. I mean, that's okay. At least that's an even marker for both the Democrat and the Republicans and independents. Anybody that wants to file, you got to pay whatever the percentage is set for the salary cap of that office. It's just gotten out of control. It's become a gatekeeping tool for the Republican Party to keep out the ones that they don't want, so that they can tell all their people to donate to the ones that they do want. Get them the money that they need, and then they'll look at you and say, hey, we're for small government, and we're the party of the people, and we're going to make sure that the little guy is taken care of in business and capitalism, but we're just not going to let you into the party and play. Unless you can come up with $10,000, $30,000, $40,000. And this is insult to injury when Arkansas is one of the lowest income level states in the nation. So you get the highest filing fees in the nation, and then we have the lowest income disparity in the nation. How's that a government for the working person? I don't think so. We're going to get more into the income disparity last today, and some plans that we have for that on the burner. So we'll circle back to that here in a little while. Next thing I wanted to hit on with you guys is the Heritage Foundation, how they actually rank, what that means, and drawing the whole picture to get understanding, right? Because it's been tossed out over and over and over again all over how Arkansas is ranked #1 in election integrity by the Heritage Foundation. It's going to be a talking point throughout the rest of this campaign. It's going to be something they hammer on constantly. So you need to be armed with the knowledge and the tools to speak about this when it gets brought up, because it's deceptive. It sounds good, right? It sounds really cool that a Republican think think tank, the Heritage Foundation, ranked us number one for election integrity. That sounds good, but what does that mean? Especially when we just got told from the Attorney General's office last week or the week before last that there was over 200 people who were found to be fraudulent filing, registering to vote. And then you had those other 3 individuals a couple months ago that are being prosecuted for voting illegally. I don't want people to get a false impression of what that really means, especially, right? So here we are. Yeah, Arkansas is ranked number 1 by the Heritage Foundation, right? But if you look, Georgia in 2021 was ranked number 1 by the Heritage Foundation, December 14th, 2021. Anyone in here remember the freaking Georgia election? Anybody remember that one? I don't know. Jared, do you remember that one?
It was a mess.
I think there's still some lawsuits coming on about that one, aren't there?
Oh, they're still working it out. It's been 5 years or 4 years, and they're still working it out.
But didn't they just recently prove that there was over 400,000 ballots that have just vanished and they can't find?
I haven't read that, but I believe it.
Yeah. So I saw it on X today when I was doing some research. They have over 400,000 ballot images that they cannot find. They don't know where they are, so they can't audit them. Part of the ongoing litigation from that election when they were ranked number 1. Okay? And there's still, after all that, 4 years, still litigation going on, guys. Still litigation going on. They're ranked number 5. So what's your metric? How are you doing that? Well, here, VoteBeats, the flaws and contradictions in the Heritage Foundation election integrity scorecard. Go through this website and it's going to explain very quickly the arbitrary points and how they rank these states for election integrity. It has nothing to do with the actual practice of the election. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with the confidence in the outcome. Nothing to do with the process. None of that. All it has to do with is laws that are currently on the books. Laws are only as good as they're enforced. That's it. And clearly, some of our laws are not being enforced that well. I'll give you an example here in Arkansas. I spoke to an individual on yesterday, when I was out speaking for Veterans Day. He's a veteran, and he married a woman from Poland. Married her. She's a military dependent, but she is not. Now they're retired, so she's a retired military dependent. Still a dependent, I guess you'd say. But she is not an American citizen yet. She's getting ready to go the process. So they moved to Arkansas to retire here. And she goes into the DMV to get a driver's license to drive. And she only shows them a mayor's license. And she gets a driver's license. And she gets a real ID because she has an official government passport, which is now blue and not red, because she was a military dependent stationed overseas. And by the SOFA agreement, she had to have, to get all the benefits and everything over there, she had to have the passport. My kids have them. My wife has them. It's a regular, it used to be red, but now it's just a blue passport. It looks like a tourist passport. So she was able to take that passport in with her marriage license and get a real ID. So she could register to vote according to our laws. But she's not a U.S. citizen. See the problem with it? And I've spoke to many people across the state that's said some of the same stuff, that can happen. There's vulnerabilities that exist there. And if they don't know, if they come in, they get an ID and they register them there, then they're registered to vote. And so you could have someone who's here legally, trying to do the right thing, doesn't know the law, gets registered to vote just because they go and get an ID, and now they've committed a state felony or a federal felony. And so they're never going to get their citizenship because now they're guilty of a crime. You got any thoughts to opine on this one, Jared?
No, that's all above my head.
Yeah.
I haven't had to deal with passports, thankfully.
No. It's yeah, I don't even think you necessarily have to have a passport to get a driver's license. She just took it in.
I know some states just hand them out. California, New York, New
Some
Jersey.
states do. I mean, we've seen all the truckers getting their CDLs and stuff coming out of California.
Now they're stopping them in Arkansas.
They are.
Give me
Absolutely. Kudos
Reading
to
rainbow
them.
test.
Kudos at giving them the English test. I've seen that. If you guys haven't seen any of those videos, go on X and just do a search for Arkansas trucker English exam, and they'll ask them simple English words. And if they can't do it, then they say they can't read the signages on the roads, and they pull their CDL from them. They're on the spot, which I think is appropriate. I'm
100%.
You know, when I was living overseas, I lived in France, I lived in Germany, and I had to get an international driver's license to drive in parts of Asia, South Korea, other parts of Europe. So part of that international driving certification is being able to recognize signage in other countries and other languages and what it meant. When I was in France, we had to take the driver's licensing exam thing there. And when I was in Germany, we had to do the same thing. You had to know what the signages said, what they meant, what was written on them, written in their native language. They didn't put multiple signs up. I mean, it's only appropriate. We've witnessed it. It's crazy what can happen on the roads when people don't understand the rules and can't read the signs, and you end up with people dying unnecessarily. So Georgia gets ranked number 1. They're still ranked number 5. We all know about all that. Arkansas is now ranked number 1. We have the information here to read through about what that really means and how it's just laws on the books. It has nothing to do with the process. So does it really make us number 1? Because to me, the number 1 identifying factor, key performance indicator of our election process and system is what the voters feel about it, right? What do the people that use the service, how do they feel about the service? Well, we got some issues there, guys. Lowest in the nation. Last. Dead last. Guys, people don't trust the process in the state of Arkansas. And you can say whether it's machines, you can say whether it's laws, you can say it's apathy, you can say whatever. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible to me. We've got to fix this. And as Secretary of State, I'm going to do everything I can to bump this number up. I guarantee you we won't be dead last. Guarantee you that. We're gonna get out the vote drives. We're going to educate people. We're going to try to reassure them of the confidence in our elections. We're going to be as transparent as possible while following the laws. We're going to advocate with the state legislature to change some of the laws. Like if we don't get rid of the machines, we still should have a right to see what's happening inside that machine. So why can't we do a statewide audit of all the ballot images in those machines and publish them? I mean, that's your right. There's no voter identification on those ballots. There's no markings on it that pinpoints that to a single voter. So you still have anonymity. But yet right now, we can't do that. We can't grab that source code. We can't grab those images and we can't publish them out to everyone. I have a problem with that. I think that would restore some confidence in the election process and would probably help get some more people out. I am of the opinion that we have so many vulnerabilities. You guys know my opinion on the matter and where I'm at. But we've got to fix this. And also, as Secretary of State, one of the things that I want to do is you get 4 outreach coordinators in the Secretary of State for each of the districts for the federal representative areas. And those outreach coordinators can do a lot. We can engage them in schools. We can engage them in universities. We can engage them in community colleges. We can get them engaged in factories. We can do all kinds of things and businesses and stuff across those districts with get out the vote information. Just letting them know about the process, letting them know when the dates are, when to get out, reassuring them, reaffirming that, hey, this is your civic duty. If you have a republic, if you can keep it. And part of keeping it is being a part of the process. Make your voice heard. And I think there's some real creative ways, especially when it comes to businesses. Most major businesses send out emails. So why not get with them and say, hey, when you're sending out some emails 3 months, 2 months, 1 month before voting starts, would you mind including something along voting with a preset blurb that we have? Just input this in your email distro that goes out to all your employees so that they are aware of what we're trying to do. And the same happens at universities, the same happens at community colleges. And you can also do the same thing with all the staff in public schools and everything everywhere, reaching out and touching as many people as possible. And then just advertising across the state, doing everything we can above and beyond to make sure that our citizens, our Kansans, are aware that an election is taking place, what is going to be on the ballot for them to be concerned with. And that's another thing. This morning, I went on Ballotpedia and I tried to do the view my ballot. And I was unable to view the primary. And I don't know about the rest of the state, but I believe we have 5 judicial races in Independence County and, the surrounding areas that have judicial districts that touch our county and other counties. I think there's 5 total. I didn't see one of those on the print my ballot from Ballotpedia. That was concerning to me because I need to be educated on who I'm voting for judge, and I need to know who is running for, because I've seen them out on the campaign trail. I know who they are, but I don't remember exactly who's against who and is going for what. I need to know that. And I need to be educated on that before I can do it. I know the county Republican committees, I hope, are doing more to get that information out there, make everyone aware of it, advertising on it. I don't know that ours is. I haven't been active that much during the campaign. I just got enough going on. But I hope they are. And I hope the news and stuff is getting that stuff out there, because I couldn't find it on that source. And judicial races are a big deal, guys. They're huge, huge deal. In 2026, we do have a Supreme Court, or I think that Supreme Court justice is actually in the primary. He's over. That's his race. There is no general for them because they're nonpartisan. So we do have some Supreme Court justices that's on the race for this primary. So if you're one of those individuals that don't go and vote in the primaries, you just wait till the general, all your Supreme Court justices are already picked, and all your local justices, the ones that's going to fine you, imprison you, maybe take your kids away from you, maybe rule on a small claims court case, all of that, you just let them go right by you, and someone else got to choose them. You didn't have a say in the matter at all. So primaries are extremely important, and they're extremely important for this primary because we have all the judicial races that's taking place. So don't let it slide by. Get in there, get on the team, exercise your civic duty, and be a part of the process. Ranking dead last is not an option. It's subpar. We're better than that. Arkansas has been ranking lowest, last in too many things for far too long. And if nothing changes, guys, then nothing changes. We've got to start doing something different, because what we're doing clearly is not working. We're near dead last in education. We're near dead last in income. We're near dead last in medical availability, resources, care. And we're high in crime, violent crime and property crime. It doesn't have to be that way. But those problems are solved at the ballot box. So if you're not doing your part to help solve those problems, you're part of the problem. There's no reason for us to be in the situation that we're in right now. There's no reason for the abject poverty that we have. There's no reason for some of the failures that we have in our body politic. There's no reason for our children to be educated near dead last. It's just, we're better than that. And we're better than having the lowest voter turnout in the nation. I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to demand that my family and friends go. I mean, Jared got harassed with me for what, about a week, 2 weeks now, just to go and get registered with the Republican Party.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean it when I say it. I'm gonna stay on you. You're gonna be a part of the process. If you're gonna hang out with me very long, you're gonna be a part of the process. Get on the team. Come on in for the big win, because whether you like it or not, Arkansas has got a great thing going for it. We just need to get some stuff out of the way so that we can thrive and not just survive, because that's what most of the people in Arkansas are doing. So definitely going to work on that, going to focus on that. And we're not going to compromise security. We're not going to compromise integrity. We're going to increase those. We're going to make those processes better. We're going to give that confidence back, and we're going to raise that number up. All right. Now, on to the little bit of business here. So Levita says, thank you, Joe Bierce. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. I'm gonna do the best I can for you. I appreciate you guys helping out. And I will take the hinges off the door. I'm not playing. I mean, anyone that's known me for any length of time, I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, one way or another. And I'm not going to accept failure as an option. To me, failure was just I identified a way that didn't work. I'm going to regroup, refit, and I'm going to find another way to make it happen. I'm not going to accept it. One day, I will be Secretary of State. I think it's going to be this next election. But if it's not this next election, I figured out a way that didn't work. And you'll see me in 4 years. That's it. This is now, I will be. This is not I want to be. No, I'm in it. I think I'm going to win this one. But if I don't, I'm going to reset. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to moan. I'm going to analyze the situation, figure out what I did wrong, figure out what didn't work, and then I'm going to figure out how to be better next time, and I'm going to come back better, stronger, more capable, more ready to take it on the next time. I'm never going to quit. You're going to have to kill me first. So, what else we got on here? Levita says, I've watched presidential votes flip as a poll watcher. 2024, our election officials will say our country has no complaints to the SBEC. Well, we know that's not true, or that SOS. Well, we know that's not true. This past election in 2024, Levita, you're not the only one. I know for a fact there was someone in Faulkner County that did it, and they called and they made a complaint. But this is the process. So if they catch it when it's happening, they spoil the ballot and give them a new ballot, and they vote again. So there was no issue according to them. But how many people didn't check their ballot and then took the ballot that had the wrong information on it and fed it into the machine? You cannot audit voter intent. So we don't know what that number is, and we'll never know what that number is. And they will always be able to say, there's no issues. Anytime that there was one, we corrected it on the spot, and the voter got to vote again, and it voted correctly. And so what's the problem? That's the problem. That's the problem. How many people are not checking their ballot? How many people are blindly trusting the device and their government in that process and just thinking it's working the way that it should work? I trust them. Why do I need to sit here and examine my ballot? I saw everything I did. That's the problem. We got to get ahead of that. Thank you so much. I believe I am too, Karen. I definitely do. And again, I said, if I don't, we'll come back. But on to the business piece. So my wife is a California refugee. She's from Sonoma County, California, Santa Rosa, which is one of the wealthiest counties area in the nation, in the world, actually. It's where all the vineyards are, Highway 12, very scenic. I believe you definitely got Sonoma, Napa Valley's in Napa County. And I think Healdsburg is also in there. So lots of really nice areas in that area. Very, very, very wealthy area. And my father-in-law, he decided to move from there, purchased a home not too far from us so he could be closer to the grandkids. And after he was here for a little while, he came over and he was like, Bryan, I thought the cost of living here was so much lower. I'm not seeing that. And he's a business guy. He's a very astute business guy. He analyzes everything. That's what he does. That's why he's been successful at business. And so we sat down and we just did the effective tax rate in Batesville, Arkansas versus Santa Rosa, California. And it was very, very surprising. So here's what it was. In Santa Rosa, California, the combined sales and use tax rate, and use tax rate is all the other ancillary taxes that you get, right? Your personal property taxes, your registration of vehicle taxes, your gas tax, your electric tax, all that stuff, right? Those are the use tax. 10% total. And that part doesn't include the effective property tax rate. The effective property tax rate in Santa Rosa is 1.10%, 1.10%. In Batesville, Arkansas, the combined sales and use tax rate in Batesville, 10%. It's the exact same. Now, we are a little bit better when it comes to the effective property rate tax. In Batesville, we are at 0.74%. So that gives us a 77 pointed percentage or a 27 point advantage in our favor, right? 27%, not even a full percentage point. That's it. But now here's where it really matters. The medium average wage in Santa Rosa, California is $35 an hour almost. 72.6 thousand a year. Batesville, Arkansas, the average is $24.10 an hour, $50,128 a year. 50,000 versus 72,000, and we're paying dang near the exact same tax rate. And what are we getting for it?
New community center, maybe some nicer sidewalks, if that. Still have homeless people.
I mean, when you go to Santa Rosa, California, you have parks everywhere. There's parks and green spaces everywhere. There's outdoor workout equipment. There's public lakes and ponds with beautiful trails all the way around them. There's mountain biking trails. There's road bike trails. There's pedestrian walkways. There's outdoor spaces for community events. I mean, they have a lot going on. We have the community center. We're getting a green space. And we have some decent sidewalks.
In some places.
Some
places don't even have sidewalks.
In some places don't even have sidewalks. We don't have any mountain biking trails. We're supposedly getting some with the new one when they raised our taxes up. We're supposed to be getting some. We don't have any road bike trails. We do have one like pedestrian causeway that runs by the hospital, goes by the community center and loops around back by the river. But outside of that, we don't have a lot. Whose fault is that? That's our fault for allowing that to take place. There is no reason for us to be paying 10% sales tax, the same as Santa Rosa, California, and we're not getting the same product. That was pretty eye-opening to see. Now, obviously, the cost of living is more in California. That's why there's a lot of people moving from there. But it's not because of the taxes. It's because of the cost of food. It's because, the home prices are insane, especially in that area. And so they're selling it and moving here and purchasing over asking price for something. The cost of goods are higher. But you can negate a lot of that, like me and my wife did when we were there. You can order online and the prices are still the same from like Amazon and other marketplaces online and have it shipped to you. So you're paying the same prices for a product in California that you're paying here in Arkansas, sometimes cheaper because the distribution center is closer and they don't have to spend that much in transportation cost. So there's ways to get around it. You just have to work a little bit to make it happen. It's unacceptable. I don't know how people are making it. I guess they're not. I don't think they are. I don't understand how people can make it on $50,000 a year. Here.
So I see people take 2-3 jobs sometimes. I mean, just to feed their family and pay for their housing.
My good buddy Drew has 3 jobs.
That's what you have to do.
He works at the factory. He has a trash removal service, big debris, moving those, and he does landscaping. I mean, I guess that's what you got to do to make it.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not stacking up money in savings. He's probably getting everything paid for, and then he's got a little bit to put away. Yeah. But you can't get ahead if you're having to pay these prices and then deal with taxes that are so high.
We've got a lot of stuff coming our way. We got a storm coming. We're going to have another market crash. That bubble, that AI bubble is going to pop. That's going to happen. And in Arkansas, specifically Arkansas, I said at the city council meeting the other night, there's a housing crisis in Arkansas. And we've talked previously about why there's a housing crisis. Well, there's a housing crisis because they're not building enough. There's a housing crisis because we have a lot of illegals in the state that have taken up some of the availability. And we also have a lot of people that are moving to Arkansas for various reasons and have disposable income, a lot more than locals do. And they just hammer down over asking price, which thereby elevates the local markets and hurts locals, prices them out of the market to where they just can't keep up. And the solution that is being proposed is a 50-year mortgage. And did you see the 15-year car loan?
I didn't see that.
That's coming out too. The White House put that out yesterday.
15-year car
15-year car loans. Look, don't ever take either one of those. If you look at a 30-year mortgage versus a 50-year mortgage, your payment's probably going to only reduce a couple $100, but you're going to double your interest payments. It's not going to be for your benefit. And who keeps a car for 15 years these days? I mean, you're lucky if one's going to last you 5 or 6 and still running good. You think you're going to get one of these newer vehicles the last 15 years? No. So now it's just like what they've done with phones. They want to lock you into a 3-year contract on that phone that you're not going to keep. 2 years later, you're going to go and trade it in and get another 3-year contract. And now you've got 1 year left on the phone that you're paying off, and you got 3 years on the one. And then after you do that after a few times, and you're using a new phone, and you're still paying off 3 phones ago.
The debt trap.
It's the debt trap. Yeah. What do you how you feel about it?
I think it's bad. The goal should be to escape debt, not make it a longer obligation. And the problem is people get overwhelmed and start using credit cards, more debt, and then you just keep piling it on, and pretty soon.
Well, what's the answer to a young family that's got to put food on the table? And since I've been here, my electric bill has went up 30%. My insurance has doubled. My home insurance has doubled since we've been here. My energy rates have gone up 40% or more. No, over 50%. It's gone up over 50% from energy since I've gotten here. The rates have. And so if you're stuck at that wage and you don't have any ability for upward movement, but all of these prices around you are going up and you've got hungry kids, what's the easy button? Credit card.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, I can't blame them. I'm not going to sit there and look at my kids while they're hungry too when I can get a credit card and go to the grocery store and solve that problem. I'll worry about that another day, but I got to solve it. This is a need, not a want. Now, a lot of people get themselves in that position, and we can talk about that till the cows come home. But the problem is there's no opportunity, really, for these individuals to get out of it. At the City Hall meeting the other day, the Chamber of Commerce got up and gave a really good presentation, and they said that you need $24 to $25 an hour per person just to make it in Batesville, Arkansas. Just to make it in Batesville, Arkansas. With what they see for the overall cost to cover all your needs, energy, gas, water, trash, purchasing a home. If it's a one-person home, you absolutely have to have $25 an hour, $24, $25 an hour. If it's a two-person home, obviously it's a little bit better, but then you get more kids and that adds more. One of the individuals in Batesville that was also at the meeting brought up that now they've pulled some of the support from after-school care and child care. They've pulled some of those availability of resources for them. So now it's $2,000 for one kid a month. Now, I haven't validated that, but that's according to this one individual at City Hall. That was the comments that he made. So you went from $1,000 a month, you doubled that to $2,000 per kid. You have no money left. It's unsustainable. The math is not mathing. I'm worried for our kids. You've got kids. Are you doing anything outside the box to prep them, make it ready?
Working hard. They're still a little too young to kind of pick up on a lot of this stuff, but
What are you doing anything to shape the bank account for them when they start out?
Yeah, I mean, trying to make investments where I can. But again, taxes, cost of living, that's kind of just across the board problem. It's hard to save a meaningful amount when you're being forced to pay, ludicrous amounts for food, for basic utilities, power, water.
What's your average grocery bill month?
Oh gosh, well, I have 3 kids, so it's substantial.
You have a beer math number?
Let's say 800 to 1,000, depending on what we're getting. We're still getting diapers and stuff. So
yeah, mine's $1,200 a month is what we're averaging.
Yeah,
it's $1,200 a month.
That's where we'll be pretty soon.
But you know how we eat. We save a lot of money where we can, like purchasing a whole beef and putting it in the freezer, which we're going to partner up on one of those here pretty soon. And we purchase poultry from a local farmer here too that's a little bit lower. And then we use the Azure Standard, which is a food delivery service. And if you don't know what Azure Standard is, look it up. It's a great resource to get nutrient-rich, good food without all the processed junk, delivered once a month to a drop location near you, and you just order it online, pick it up, and they've got some fantastic stuff. We love it. And then we go down to Little Rock to Costco and bulk buy. Usually make 1 trip, 2 trips a month to do that. But I eat a lot. I take a lot of snacks with me when I'm on the road. So my kids eat a lot too. I mean, anyone out there has kids, when they're growing, they're teenagers, they eat a lot of food. And for a $800 to $1,200 a month grocery bill, and if you're only making $50,000 a year, well, that's $12,000. That's $12,000 of your annual income in food. $12,000. Now, let's say what would you say your average gas, electric, and
gas in the summer, I would say $50. Gas in the winter, $250. Electric, probably about $300.
So
$350.
So $500 to $600, $500 to $700, $700.
Yeah, about that. $120 for water.
So about $600 then.
About that. Okay.
So that's going to be $600, $7,200 a year. So you were at 12. Now you're at $7,200. That's 15. All right. Now you got a vehicle payment. You got insurance.
Vehicle payment on one of the cars. The other one's a $95.
Okay.
That thing's paid off. It's been paid
All right.
off.
What's your vehicle payment?
Let's call it $600.
$600 a month. Okay. So that's another 72. So now you're at 38 left. What about your insurance?
Insurance about $100 a month.
Okay, so now you're at 37. All right. Now fuel for your vehicles.
Now we work from home, so we're lucky. But I mean, you call it probably $50 a week.
$50 a week in fuel. Okay, so negligible. We'll put that. We'll say drop it down 36. So that gives you $36,000 a month, or $36,000 a year if you're making the average income, which I know you're not. Remaining after you paid just your necessities.
Did you factor mortgage, rent into that?
No, didn't even factor mortgage. What's your mortgage?
$1,000 a month.
So now you're down.
Now that's gone up too since living here. It was $800 when we first moved here.
So now you're at 24,000.
Yeah.
Did that cover your homeowner's insurance? Is it included in your mortgage?
Yeah, that's rolled in.
Okay. So you got $24K a year, and now let's do your grocery bill. That's going to take down another 12.
Yeah.
So now you're at $12,000 a year left over disposable income. And that's not counting. Now you're not counting all the other necessities of life.
Emergency repairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oil changes, new tires.
All that stuff. So one family making the average in Batesville, Arkansas, just to survive, you've got $12,000 a month. If you're not like Jared, if you're like Jared and you're not driving anywhere else to work, you could take that down to $10,000 if you got to drive to work and you got the added fuel expense. And then that's not even adding any entertainment stuff. I mean, you add in just Netflix and one other subscription or your cable bill and your internet, and now you're at $8,000. How you doing it? How you doing it on the average medium income? I don't think you are. I'm going to take a break from this because I just got a text message and we got breaking news, Jared.
How's that?
We got breaking news and we're going to break it on the ready room yet again. It's magical. We do this once a week, but somehow we can end up keep breaking news. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we did it. Now we're doing it again. The Supreme Court denied the stay from the state for the Franklin County issue. They denied the state their stay
This afternoon.
So
Is that what they did?
I guess they're going to get their say in court sooner rather than later. Cote, if you can hear me, Cody, I see you on there. If you can tell me exactly what that means for you guys, I'll talk to you a little bit more. But super excited for those individuals. That's something, guys. There's no reason for that. For these guys to be dealing with that issue at all. See if I can find something on the Google.
Are you live on Facebook?
Should be. Says I am. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you can see me on Facebook. All right. Nope, nothing's published on the Google. So, Cody, you gave it to me first. Can you hear me on Facebook, guys? If you can, give me a thumbs up. Jared says we lost the...
Yeah, I'm showing it ended here. 39 and a half minutes in.
Unable to connect.
You're up on X still.
Trying to reconnect to X or Facebook. I don't know why. Of course.
You got to quit saying stuff Zuckerberg doesn't like.
I know, man. We got to leave Zuckerberg out of the mix. Yeah, we are not live on Facebook at all, man. Says it went straight offline. Unable to connect. Well, it's going to be saved to YouTube, the entirety of it. So we'll wrap up here and we'll make sure that link is pushed out so that anybody missed it. Sorry about that, guys. Have no idea why that happened. We're still streaming on YouTube. We're still streaming on X. I guess the cuck didn't like what we were saying and just kind of dropped us. Just kind of dropped us off, right? Too big. We couldn't share that news. But Colt got back to me. It means the governor has to do what Judge James told her and move the election forward. Fantastic. There's absolutely no freaking reason that those people should have to go without representation. I mean, we got a primary election coming up. You could have pushed it out to the end. That would have made sense. People could have walked the dog on your logic with that one. But pushing it out 269 days, 67 days, whatever it was, unacceptable. And I think that makes 4 court rulings in a row that the governor's lost.
Who's keeping score?
It's not a good look, Cotton.
Not a good look.
Not a good look, Cotton. But you know how you don't get those kind of rulings?
Do the right thing.
I mean, it's a way.
It's a way. Yeah.
It's a way. You don't have to do it, but it's a way. I hate it for those guys that's having to deal with that down there, but I got nothing but admiration for the boys in Franklin County, the fight that they put up, the things they've been doing. It's just absolutely phenomenal. To me, that's America, and that's my statesman. That's our Kansans. They're not giving up. They're not backing down. They're fighting through it. I just wish that they would keep that same fire all the time, and then we wouldn't be in these predicaments in the first place. You know, if you wait and wait and wait until you get pushed too far, look at all the ground that they've already covered that they pushed you into. And there's nothing more difficult than trying to retake ground that's been lost. It's almost impossible. Just ask the Ukrainians. It's not working out well for them. It doesn't work. So don't give up the ground in the first place. Have a healthy distrust in your government. Be involved in the social process. Make your voice known. Be combative against your lawmakers respectfully. Let them know how you feel and vote accordingly. Most importantly, vote. And we probably wouldn't be in this predicament in the first place. And I hope that more and more people see this, they take note, and they vote accordingly. You know, don't put ourselves in this position again. There's no reason for this. You know, I'm sick and tired of all the freaking rules, the policies, the regulations. You got to ask permission to freaking do anything right now. You know, so at some point in time, there's going to be a sign outside your bathroom. It's going to be, you know, call the hall monitor and make sure that you can flush the toilet before you do, so we don't waste too much water. I mean, people laugh, but I don't think that's too freaking far away, especially in New York.
Yeah, in some places that's coming soon.
It's coming, and if you think that it can't come to Arkansas, that's where you're lying to yourself. It's already increasing in New York. It's already increasing in Michigan, in Minnesota, and other places. Those ideologies are antithetical to the American ideals. Absolutely antithetical. And if you think that can't make its way into good old Arkansas, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Now, whether it happens in yours and my lifetime or our children's lifetime is a different conversation. I'm going to do everything that I can to ensure that does not come to Arkansas and we don't live underneath that, and we actually get some of our liberties and freedom back instead of losing them. And I hope you'll join me in that effort. And I hope you'll help spread the word and like this, smash that subscribe button, share it out to everybody, get the word out. Guys, this is a way to beat the machine. It costs a ton of money to buy advertisements. It costs a ton of money to get your name out there. It costs a ton of money to drive all over the state. It costs a ton of money for signages. It costs a ton of money to win a race. But this doesn't cost that much. And we can share this message out. You can talk to your friends. You can talk to your family members, and you can keep pushing that out. And that's how we can beat the machine. That's how we can negate the extreme filing fees that we see from the RPA. That's how we can negate the gatekeepers in the news media, the newspapers, and everything else is by grassroots, locally led people sharing the word and putting this out there and just telling your people, give him a chance. Just listen to what he's got to say, ask him some questions, fill him out, give him an opportunity to earn your vote. I'm not asking anybody to give it to me. I just want a fair shot and an opportunity to earn it from you. And guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We do live in the greatest nation, the greatest civilization that this world has ever known. It's worth fighting for. It's worth protecting. You hear it all the time. We got to take our country back. We got to take our state back. Because you have to do it every time. Because every time there's individuals and groups and people out there that's trying to take it away from you. It never ends until you're dead. And then it doesn't matter to you anymore. But what is the inscription underneath your death mask going to say when your future generations walk by your gravestone and know the things that you did or did not do to preserve their freedoms and protect their inheritance and make sure that they were able to have the same freedoms, live the same American dream, and have the opportunities and liberties that you had? Did you secure them for them? Did you protect them? Did you better them? Or did you not? Choice is yours. Our life is nothing but the sum total of our choices. I'm going to do everything I can. I think my inscription is going to be pretty stacked. I hope it is. And by the time I'm done, I hope I add a whole lot more to it. All right, team. Stay in the fight. Stay ready. Till next time. God bless. Love y'all.